Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FKA the Pod. I'm your host, Trent Tatum, and as always, I'm joined by Reed Wilson and Seth Butler. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
I always do a raise the roof thing. You can see that on YouTube. That's my thing.
Nice. It's our second pod of the week. Well, I guess technically first, depending on when this comes out. But as always, we've got some little drinks, or maybe we don't. I'll go ahead and start us off. I'm still drinking the Coors out of the Stubby Coors.
Stubby Coors. I'm finishing up the Cook's California Champagne Brut.
Nice.
Which is the final little alcoholic beverage I have until I have to go buy some beers. But I got my eyes on some specific local beers that I want to sample here on the pod. So.
And I've got a Barks Zero Sugar.
All bark, no bite.
Yeah, zero beer. It still says beer though, so I'm still part of the club.
Barks Zero Sugar beer.
Hey, before the pod, speaking of being in a club, we were discussing doing a book club together.
Yeah.
So if you, as a listener, have an idea for books we would cover or are interested in book club, or you want to join our book club, let us know. We're FK the Pod everywhere. You can follow us at FK the Pod on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Threads as well. And you can email us. We're fkthepod@gmail.com.
That's right. Give us your recommendations for our first book club. We're potentially looking at something short, like a test run situation.
Like a novella club.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Sub 200 pages at least.
Yeah.
199 pages. What about 250? I feel like I can commit to a 250.
Okay. That works. Under 250.
Yeah.
250 or less.
Yeah. Large print edition as well. So
That's right.
I went to I did a couple things over the weekend. So obviously watched the draft, right? Confirmed that all of our predictions were correct from the last podcast episode.
Obviously.
But really what I did over the weekend, this is actually last weekend. I just haven't got a chance to talk about it yet. My girlfriend Jill, she's got a new job where she teaches
Congrats. Yay.
yoga on an island that you have to take a boat to. So
Whoa,
it's like
she's on the Outer Banks?
no, not that.
She's
not
on
the Outer
Yoga
Banks.
Island?
Yoga Island. Yeah, it's like Woohoo Island from Wii Sports Resort.
Let's go.
But everybody drives around on golf carts and like it's like they've got a fancy golf course and stuff. Like it's a nice little island place. But to get there, you have to take a ferry, and you also take the ferry from like the next town over. So the commute is pretty far, but the compensation's pretty good, right? It's like Woohoo Island.
Island yoga.
Yeah. One of the things that we did, because I went there to take a yoga class, hang out on the island and stuff, twist my arm, whatever, I'll go to the island. In the town where you take the ferry from, they're having like a festival the other day.
Ooh, little ferry festival.
Little spring festival. Yeah, ferry festival. And one of the booths they had at the little spring festival, which is like they had live music and they had a bunch of vendors and stuff, and they blocked off the streets so you could walk down them and stuff like that. Pretty typical stuff. But they had a old abandoned school bus that they turned into a used bookstore. And this is like, just being in there, I was like, this little school bus bookstore, like, we're just printing money here, right? You're selling the books to me for $5, but you bought these things at Goodwill for like $1, And you don't really have any expenses. You don't pay rent. You just have like an old bus.
You're just driving the bookmobile around.
Yeah, the bookmobile. So anyway, that's just something I was thinking about. Shout out to the bookmobile, whatever. I don't actually know what it was called. The marketing didn't catch me. It was just I like books. I bought a book.
Nice. Which one?
So
Nice.
Was it 250 pages or less?
No, I think it's longer. I bought The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain.
Oh, that one's like I've read that one.
I own Tom Sawyer. I did not own Huck Finn, but I do now. So
Yeah.
shout
out to Jim.
Yeah, Jim's got there's a new book about Jim out. People do this sometimes where they're like revisiting, and we're going to write this from the perspective of some other character. and I think that's kind of lazy or whatever. But it's selling a lot. You find it. It's called James. I don't know who wrote it, but it's
Well, better than the alternative. You know?
yes, indeed. But yeah, you can find it at like Barnes and Noble or whatever. It's got like its own, or it did a couple months ago, have its own like display or whatever. A lot of people are buying this thing. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Nice.
shout out to books.
Start the books.
Yeah, that's right. We're a book pod.
Yeah. We're not doing it today. We haven't selected a book or started
Yeah,
reading.
we're putting the
but
vibes out there. We're putting the vibe. We're making the intention. We're manifesting.
what did you guys think about the motif or the
It's pretty good. Good theming.
Dude, I was gonna say, having a bus and turning it into a library and selling books, or not a library, a bookstore,
yeah.
and selling books from your bus at festivals or like farmers markets and stuff like that sounds like an insanely cool retired thing to do.
Yeah.
And so
What
I
if you
was
could just do
wondering-
it for? What if you could just do it now though?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
if
that
you-
would be pretty sweet too. That would be pretty sweet too.
But where else will you live though? If you can't live in your old repurposed bus, so you just, you gotta get a second bus to drive around so you can live
You
in.
That's why
tow
it's
the
a good-
bus with the other bus.
That's why it's a good retired thing, man. You're gonna take the rest of your Social Security checks and live in your bus.
Mm.
yeah.
Can we take Social Security right
left.
now? Could I get like a quarter a month?
Yeah, I don't know.
You
how that
have
works.
to. You can look this up. This is something. This is a PSA. You can look up how many credits you have towards owning Social Security right now. You have to like work a minute. You have to make a minimum amount. It's like $10,000 a year, and you have to do that for like 20 years or something. So you can look it up. So in addition to there being an age requirement, there's also like you have to have paid in a certain amount, which we measure by giving you a credit for however many years that you work making this minimum amount of money. And this is something that you can look up. So no is the answer. You probably have 10 credits and you need to have 40 credits or something like that.
That's
Yeah,
brutal, dude.
unfortunately.
That sucks.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But because I saw some stuff. You know, I'm a little bit of a doomsday prepper these days. And
Yeah,
I,
500 gallons of peanut butter.
I printed out all my documents and shit so that I have it. So I have a printed out copy of like, look, I had a job, so I'm not entitled to Social Security, but I'm on my way. So if those, files ever get deleted or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, the AI
nice,
gets
dude.
to us through implicit Skynet.
Well,
Yes.
I was gonna ask you guys, what's your retirement plan or hobbies?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. what I
Probably
wanna
going to
do.
be like, fending off raiders and
Yeah,
scavenging for food.
I think I'll.
Yeah,
I
but
think
good
I'll.
news is you're gonna be retired at like 45.
Yeah, you're right.
I might become a smithy. You know,
Yeah, dude.
it's like figure out how to, make swords and stuff
Making swords.
or guns or whatever we want, whatever we're smithing these days.
Hunting,
you
hunting
can
feral dogs.
Yeah, I want to be an upgrade bench. How do I become an upgrade NPC? That's my retirement plans.
That's right. Yeah, you can be like a leather worker. What are those guys called?
Yeah, you bring
Tanner.
bring your equipment to me and I'll upgrade your equipment.
I'll upgrade your equipment.
That's right. That's right. If you've got like, I don't know, cotton armor, bring it to Reed and he'll upgrade it to leather armor. There you
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is rayon armor right
It's
here.
just rayon. This is a vintage Carhartt jacket.
This is a
It'll provide you
polyester
some-
blend armor.
protection.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like what we do here as a podcast would be similar maybe to like an old group of friends who are retired and they meet once a week at the local diner for breakfast.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're not. No one's listening to those old people. Tons of people listen.
That's true. That's true, dude. We've got at least a diner full of listeners, right?
Yeah. On a slow day. Man, no, that would be good. I would like to I kind of would like to do this now, but I don't think I will. I would like to sit down, making my cup of coffee, read the paper, do the crossword, all that kind of stuff. As it stands now, I listen to podcasts about the news while drinking my coffee,
And it's never
like,
fun.
I'm driving to work.
It's tough.
So it's not quite as, when you imagine, like, oftentimes, like, the dad in, like, some sitcom from the 90s or the 2000s reading their newspaper and drinking their cup of coffee, it's like a relaxing thing that they enjoy to do. They enjoy doing, but, like, I don't know if
How
it is
early
that
are these
anymore.
guys waking up?
It's a good question.
Like, what
I think
was
when
the
you get
schedule
old
of these
enough-
people back in the sitcom? Like, what these people ain't got nothing to do?
They're eating like a full breakfast. And a lot of
Yeah.
times the kids are like, oh no, I know you made me this full breakfast, but I gotta go to school.
Yeah, I just need to eat a toast.
Dude, I think when you get old enough, you just don't have to sleep as much.
Yeah.
Or you just don't. Because like
Yeah,
that's like
right.
really
You get
old. You
used
don't
to
have to
being
sleep as
tired
much.
all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
That's why you're
so-
pounding coffee, I guess. They are drinking coffee with the paper, but
It's true.
yeah, it would be like, I would feel, water cooler conversation would be so easy if it's like, oh yeah, hi, good morning. I've been up for 3 hours and I read all about the news of the world, right? What do you
Yeah.
want to discuss today?
Right.
yeah, I'm right up on everything.
But as it stands, I'm like half awake and don't know anything that's going on, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Everything sucks.
And there's that too.
Yeah. No, legit. My coworkers, they're like, they're getting to the point where they know, just like, don't talk to Trent until like 11 a.m. Just because I'm not responsive until then.
Damn.
And then 30 minutes later, I go to lunch. So,
Let's
perfect.
go.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, when so reading the newspaper, I like to have a habit like that where it's like,
Yep.
I'm doing what was ingrained in me from watching sitcoms. I would also like to, have a book bus. I guess I kind of stole the one that you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. I'd like to have a little something, right? It doesn't really have to make money. I've got, hopefully my Social Security and retirement. So I'm just doing this for fun. I don't think I want to do nothing. Because as it stands now, I really enjoy like days where like it's a weekend or whatever and I don't have anything to do. But like if I never had anything to do, I mean, when I'm older, it'll probably be much different. But like a lot of times if I have a day where I don't have anything to do, I'm like so excited for it. But then I spend the whole day just like doing nothing. When it's like,
yeah, like worrying that you're being not productive.
yeah.
That's my
So
biggest issue. It's like I could be doing something.
yeah.
Well, you
So I
are
don't
doing
know.
something. You're doing nothing.
I guess, but it's not even like a restful nothing. It's not like,
No,
oh, I'm
yeah.
enjoying doing nothing. It's like I'm
You're
doing
just on your
nothing.
phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's being on the phone kind of sucks. Maybe with my retirement plan, I'll give up the phone.
You get a flip phone.
In
Yeah.
retirement, I give up the
Get
phone.
a jitterbug. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah,
like
I don't
a barista or like a bartender. If we're talking about like real retirement,
Okay.
Yeah.
if we're talking
Yeah.
like mid-retirement, whatever, it's like being a teacher seems like it could be a pretty easy gig. As a
Mhm.
fallback, it's kind of like I made money, just go become a teacher now. Like you gotta,
Right.
it's like
I
I don't
think-
have to make a lot of money or whatever anymore. I could just be a teacher.
I think for it to be an easy teaching job, at like when you're 75 or 65.
No, this is like a 40. This is like 40. I did my time corporate and I retire. I do like a step
Okay,
back.
yeah.
Like I loaded up all the money. Now I'm just making like my investments are gonna keep growing or whatever. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
I become like an econ teacher or like a history teacher or some bullshit and just kind
Yeah,
of
exactly. You
just
coach
chill.
Coach.
elementary football or something. Yeah.
Be the teacher that everyone calls coach.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always wanted to be.
Yeah. No, I think maybe something like I don't know, dude. It would be cool if I was like 65, retired, and could go to like a thrift store, like have like a vintage store or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
all your old shit.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
Yeah, it's
vintage
all my
now.
stuff.
Ooh,
Have a
maybe
sign
like
out front that says please come buy my old stuff. I wore this for 40 years. And then
He's
people
got a sign
love
up
it.
front that says estate sale.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to
It's
do
like,
now, like I guess we said, some of this is stuff that we could do now. Maybe not be a teacher in addition to the other stuff that we do, but like I would also like to now, I think this is probably easier and more likely to happen when I'm older, but like be really knowledgeable about local the local environment. So like you see a bird outside, you're like, "Oh, that's a whatever." Right? And they're here because it's this season. My girlfriend Jill actually just got me this guide to local birds, which is pretty
Nice.
sick. And living where we live now is like you see all kinds of shit out there. There are turtles, there are geese, there are ducks, there are herons, there are pelicans, there are seagulls. Like there are lizards and stuff. There are alligators. We haven't seen any yet, but like it's a lot cooler here, and I think there's more interesting stuff to know about and like understand how these things are related than anywhere that I've lived before. Because here you've got the river, you've got like marshes and wetlands, and you have the ocean. And like the farther inland you go, the more similar it is to like where we used to live in Tuscaloosa, right? So there's a lot of different stuff. But I think it would be cool to just be like, oh yeah, like to be knowledgeable. I guess in the past everybody was, because you kind of had to be. You had to know
Live there.
what
That's
was
a warbler.
Yes, you had to know what was poison and what was not poison, and where you could, hunt the stuff that you needed to kill and eat. But now you just go outside and you're like, I don't know, what is that thing? That's weird. So
Yeah,
I
what is that?
would like to be knowledgeable about that stuff. Maybe not necessarily just like be a bird watcher, but like go on hikes and stuff, and like understand the stuff I was looking at.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. That sounds like it would be a blast. Get into bird watching a little bit sort of situation, but it can
Oh,
be more than just
Easy.
birds.
There's only like 100 there.
It's double sided.
Oh fuck.
Nice.
These are the waterfowl.
Nice. But I think a hack, you could just like learn their cries. You could just like listen to all their cries, and then you could like just hear them. Then you can just
Yeah.
whip it out. It's like, oh, you're like a coo, and like, oh, it's a white-tailed crane. And
That's a
then-
dark-eyed junco.
Nice.
That's a northern bobwhite.
I don't think you can say that, man.
That's a yellow-breasted chat. Chat, am I yellow-breasted?
Dude, I think
Chad, am I cooked?
along with learning what all the birds sound like, you could practice your bird calling.
That's good.
So that you're like, yeah, today I feel like seeing a yellow-breasted chat. And so you just make the noise and then one shows up.
I just get them to show up.
Or you can
Yeah, that'd
just
be pretty
like,
sweet.
once you get good enough with all this other shit, and you get a little like a reputation of, oh, this is Seth, he knows the local flora and fauna. You can
Yeah.
just start making shit up.
Yeah, that's good too. That's good.
Yeah.
Gain
Hey,
everybody's
move for the
trust.
booby.
Yeah. Dude, I'm thinking oh, he's back. I'm thinking what could be kind of cool to get even more into in retirement would be Major League Baseball. I'm talking like I saw, I don't know who it was, but I saw some celebrity, maybe it was Tom Hanks. I think it was Tom Hanks. He was at a baseball game and he was keeping his own book for the baseball game.
But yeah,
You know,
you
like-
score. You were scoring a baseball game. Yeah, people do
like
that.
writing down the scores, writing down the pitch counts, and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool to get like super deep into the stats of baseball when I'm like 65.
I mean, I wanted to do that when I last went to a baseball game, and I started, and then I got kind of bored.
I was in something today where this is not really a hobby, but I got bored, and so I started taking notes in cursive to test whether I could still do things in cursive. So that was something that I did there.
Yeah, I still do that because like my handwriting is bad, so I often, I'm not consistent with it. So sometimes I'll just be like, I'll rip some cursive. So like half my letters I write in cursive because it's faster to me. Like I'll be doing cursive L's and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. No, I think cursive is just meant to be faster, right? So like you have no need for cursive if you find the fastest way for yourself to write.
Mm.
Like it's going to take me longer to write in cursive anyways. So it makes more sense for me to print, except not pick up my pencil sometimes. You know?
Interesting. Well, but I mean, I feel like that's how they got there, right? Because like I'll be writing with the pen, which I probably shouldn't do. I probably should just forego me ever being able to use a pen.
Yeah.
Just use a pencil because you can write. You have to write slower with the pencil. All right. I think that's how they got cursive. They just started writing too fast with the regular one.
Yeah,
And they had to,
exactly. And then they standardized the version of writing too fast. Yeah. So,
Didn't we talk about how the ballpoint pen, the guy like patented the ink and not the device?
dude, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he patented the ink and not the device. So I think you can like get around that.
Yeah. Weird.
Unlike the zipper guy who patented the zipper somehow.
Interesting.
Even though you can rip that shit off.
Yeah. Man, I feel like I had something to say
I'm
about
on here,
cursive.
man.
You're doing it for fun.
Oh yeah, I was doing it for fun. It was pretty fun.
Can you?
Well, there were certain letters I couldn't do. I had to write a Z, and I was like, whoa, okay. I had to write a K.
hell?
How do you do a cursive K?
Or were you going off memory, or were you looking?
I was going off memory. Yeah. I was in a situation where I had a notepad in front of me, but I couldn't look on my phone or on my laptop or anything. So I was like, and I wanted to look studious, you know.
Mhm.
So
You feign.
I
studiousness,
feigned
interest.
studiousness. I was taking notes, but I was kind of just taking notes to see if I could write in cursive. So
We've all been there.
yeah, you know, we've all.
Yeah, people are gonna write like, man, I wonder if I know how to code there, because that's what they learn now. I think instead of cursive, right? Coding, or I don't know.
I don't think they have to code
Yeah,
anymore.
or
Can't you
computer
just type that into?
Can't you use GPT? it?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, I was just trying to take notes to see if I could take notes manually instead of having GPT doing it.
Yeah. So I was trying to use this pencil instead of typing through my.
I was
Brain
trying to use my
implant.
brain instead of Chat GPT.
Yeah. So I pulled up some talking about new technology. We did a little Facebook Marketplace segment on the last podcast. I have 3 additional Facebook Marketplace entries.
Oh, here
If
we
you guys
go.
want to hear a little bit about these and maybe guess the prices of some of these things.
Yeah, man. Dude, if we like something enough, can we ask you to buy it and then we pay for
Yeah,
it?
also podcasts, we as FK the Pod, we've got about $300 still in the podcast bank account. I don't know what we want to do with that.
There we go.
but-
Spend it all on Facebook Marketplace, baby.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one that I saw on Facebook Marketplace. All these are local as well. So I mean, I could buy these things and pick them up tomorrow, probably. I like this one. I'm not going to tell you the price of it yet, because I'm going to tell you the 3 different items. I'll even read you the description of these items too, and then I'll tell you the prices. You can guess which one's which.
All right.
So this one, it caught my eye because they misspelled a name here. But they misspelled the name for a particular reason that I'll show you when I show you the picture here. This one is New York newspaper of McKinley's shooting in 1901. The McKinley here being William McKinley, former president. As you can see here, the McKinley is like misspelled. It's M apostrophe K. Yeah, M apostrophe Kinley instead of MC Kinley. And so that's the way.
They just not have enough room there?
I don't know. That's the way they spelled it in the listing. So that's why it caught my name.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I also wanted to mention that latest bulletin says assassin's bullet did not perforate intestine. Strong ground for hope. There wasn't. he later died from being shot, which was pretty likely.
And now,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Being shot's tough. That's a bad one.
Yeah. Don't do that.
The next one we've just got corn dog maker.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I'll show you a picture of that in just a second when I pull it up.
I want to
know
see
if
this
I-
corn dog maker.
I don't know if I don't really want that. I don't.
Does it make the batter? Oh, no.
No.
No,
It's just a
It's like a pancake maker.
George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's. Aldred is the brand. ALDRED corn dog maker.
Kind of looks industrial-ish.
Yeah, so the description of this one, commercial grade corn comma, dog maker.
Corn dog
Comma,
maker.
dog maker.
It's a dog maker that's made out of corn.
It's great for a restaurant, food truck, or just fun at home.
Well, I mean, how else are you gonna make? I mean, it's a hot dog. It's a corn dog maker. It kind of is in the name. Like, it's kind of like, how else are you gonna sell that? I think they're doing an admirable job, like, for what it is. So what else do you really need to say? As someone who writes the description for these podcast episodes all the time, sometimes it's tough out here to figure out what we want to make to put in there. So I believe we're out for a corn dog maker.
Yeah. So kind of in the realm of corn dog maker, perfect for food truck or fun at home. We have life-size large metal art pig, perfect for BBQ restaurant or food truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Man.
It's a
You looking to make a barbecue or a food truck, Seth?
I can't remember the last time I was outside of an Alabama barbecue restaurant and I didn't see a metal pig.
That is a good decor item. That is a good restaurant decor item.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to know. It is in very good condition. One easily fixed surface rust area. Nice heavy gauge metal, will last many years, as ND strong enough for kids to climb on. Approx 5 foot long, 3 foot high, 2 foot wide. Perfect attention grabber for a BBQ restaurant or BBQ food truck. Or just
it's a life-size pig, dude.
yeah. Or just as a lawn ornament for someone like me who has a pet mini potbelly pig as a pet.
Why are you including that?
And I'm looking for a good home for her as well. If you know anyone, she is a big sweetheart. 1 year old, but due to health reasons, I'm
Oh,
selling.
the actual pig, dude. The actual pig. I thought they were still talking about the metal pig.
No, they're talking about the teacup pig. She is a big sweetheart, 1 year old, but due to health reasons, I'm selling many of my things. I paid almost double my asking price. So I think now she's talking about the metal pig again.
Yeah, why are you trauma dumping here?
Yeah, I don't know. So this is kind of like a dual listing for large life-size metal pig and also real
Large
pig.
life-size pig.
That's cool.
Yeah, the description I really liked on that one. So we've got newspaper.
Okay, I take back my comments about the description. Like, that person put too much in it. She was trying too hard, or didn't try. She was trying wrong.
Yeah. So we've got New York newspaper of McKinley shooting in 1901, which believed he was going to survive. He didn't. We've got corn dog maker, commercial grade corn, comma dog maker, great for restaurant, food truck, or just fun at home. And then we've got life-size large metal art pig, perfect for BBQ restaurant or food truck. Also,
Parentheses, real pig included.
Yeah, also a real pig. I'm sick. I got medical reasons. I gotta sell out my shit. Please buy this for half price.
I'm sick. I'm selling all pigs, metal and not.
Oh,
Prices for these: we've got $320. We've got
Okay.
$700.
oh,
And we've
okay.
got $125.
Oof. Okay.
So we got the corn dog maker. We got the pigs, and we have one more thing. The
William McKinley newspaper.
William McKinley newspaper.
I think the newspaper can't be $400, right? I'm thinking it has to be the 150 or whatever.
125. So you got 125,
125.
320, and 700.
Okay, 125. I'm gonna say 125 for the paper. 325 for. God. Okay.
Corn dog. Dibs on corn dog maker at 300.
You guys can work together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I think I was leaning towards corn dog, but 750.
700.
Fucking 700 for this fucking pig, dude.
For pigs,
You
maybe.
better throw in the teacup pig as well.
Well, it's
That
life
price
size.
is
It's
crazy.
the metal is a heavy gauge. That's another thing.
Yeah,
to
but
think
you
about.
can't.
It's only got one rusted part.
It's true. It's
Easily fixable.
easily fixed. That one
You
rusted
can't
part.
turn a metal. You know what? If there's one thing that my parents always told me is that you can't turn a metal pig into bacon. All right.
Yeah. And if you spend $700 on a corn dog maker, you better get a new one.
You better get state of the art. Dog maker.
Yeah, like, no way that ever becomes profitable. How many corn dogs would you have to be selling?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
$700 is too much for any of this stuff.
Well, for
Obviously.
a big ass heavy metal statue, I think that could be $700.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone really likes this William McKinley thing.
Yeah, you never know.
This
Oh,
is
it could-
thrilling read.
Yeah, I feel like he's low on the list of everyone's like presidential favorites. He didn't really do much, right? He died.
He died. He got shot and died. Well, he was big into corruption. I think was one of the reasons he got shot.
Well, then
Into
people would love him.
doing corruption or busting corruption.
No, he was the corruption. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
People would love it,
Interesting.
man.
Yeah. This was the Roscoe Conkling and the half breeds and the patronage. I think that was this.
The what?
That's what they called their like political party was the half breeds. I don't.
The
That's an
half-breeds.
interesting name.
And there were also the Doughboys. I think that might have been the same time. They had cool names
the-
back in the day. The Stalwarts. That's what it was. You got the Stalwarts and the
stalwart part.
half breeds. They were on opposite
That's
teams
pretty
here.
cool, dude.
So what are your final answers here for the old?
125 newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
375 for the corn.
320.
The corn dog maker. And then 700 for Big Metal Pig and potentially Tiny Live Pig? Question mark?
Potentially another pig.
Potential live pig.
Corn dog maker 125. Large metal pig
Damn.
320. 700 New York newspaper of McKinley's shooting.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why do you think that newspaper is so much?
I don't know.
It's old. And it's got a president on it. I think that's just what they're thinking.
Yeah, it's not in a frame. It's not really well preserved. Like it's got creases in it and stuff. I don't know. I think
Yeah. Dude,
It's not even
You
a
need
PSA 10.
no.
you need to message the person selling this and be like, hey, let me know why this is $700. And also let me know how much somebody buys it.
Yeah, does it have the dude's blood on it or something? Like
Yeah, dude.
Here we go. This is prior to what's his face, McKinley. But the Stalwarts and the Half-Breeds were two political factions of the Republican Party from 1877 to 1890. The Republicans being the good guys at the time.
Still are. Bro. What are you talking about?
The Stalwarts were in favor of political machines and patronage, where you kind of just give jobs to your friends. I'm glad we left that in the
Okay.
past, huh?
Yeah, I got rid of that shit.
The half-breeds were in favor of civil service reform and a merit-based system. Wow.
Oh, well, meritocracy. All right, we got it in there. Hey, it looks like we got the best of both worlds, huh? We talk like one and do the other. That's awesome. We nailed it. We combined the half breeds and the stalwarts at the same time. We're half warts. We're stall breeds.
Stallbreeds.
Half-warts,
That's true.
Stall breeds. Yeah, that's good.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Yeah. They're called half-breeds because it was supposed to mean that they were only half Republican. So you kind of hear that too now. You're not a real
rhinos.
Republican. Yeah, exactly.
You're a rhino.
Exactly. I don't know what McKinley's deal was though, because this was before McKinley. But anyway, yeah, I get on Facebook Marketplace a lot, and so I will pretty much always be screenshotting weird stuff to talk about here. So we can keep this segment
Yeah, I
going
like
for
it.
as long as we
Yeah.
long as we want. I'll try to always have 3 usually. So
Hell yeah. I like that. Well, while we're trying to think of the next thing to talk about, I do have an album recommendation.
Perfect.
All right. It's been a while since I actually did an album recommendation, so this is new for me. This over the past like year and a half. But anyways,
It was once your segment became my segment. Now,
yeah, exactly. I'm taking it back. Maybe for 1 week only. Who knows? But I recently stumbled across this album. I go to like different music websites that review music and stuff in my free time at work. Don't ask too much about it. But anyways, I stumbled across this new band called Chime Oblivion, who is formed by this guy named John Dwyer, and then this other guy, I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Barbosa.
Like the pirate.
John Dwyer is from a plethora of different like punk adjacent bands, and he kind of does some like jazz stuff as well. And Barbosa is also again from some punk adjacent band. But anyways, they got this new band they just formed called Chime Oblivion. They just released their first album, also called Chime Oblivion. And it's just cool, jazzy punk music, which is like super fun and entertaining to listen to. It's kind of energetic in a way. But that's my recommendation. There's one song on there.
The album
called
art of this looks
Pure
pretty cool.
Fear. It's pretty solid. So yeah, check it out. It's different, and I think that's why I like it. I like to find things that are just weird. So
It looks like all their songs are in all caps. They're
yeah,
loud music.
yeah. I don't know what that means, but it's a thing.
Such as
So.
the Mythomaniac and Incredible Synth 5 and Incredible Synth 4, as well as Neighborhood Dog, I'm Not a Mirror, and Smoke Ring.
Whoa.
Yeah, Neighborhood Dog is good. I think there's one called The Catalog. The Catalog is pretty good. Yeah, there's just some fun little bangers
Yeah.
on there to stream at your next summer punknik. Which is
A
your
good
I
punk
like
picnic.
that.
Yeah.
Punknik.
Yeah.
Yeah, when are you guys gonna have your first picnic this year? You think? Brought out the grill the other day and we made some chicken legs. Very good. This is a short topic. Spring is sprunging
Yeah.
right now. When do we take
That's right.
when do we start decorating the outside? When do we take the grill out? When do we?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Easter is not a big grill out holiday. I feel like it could be. It seems too prim and proper for you to be out, you know.
Yeah, it's a real morning holiday. They gotta wake up, you go to church, and then you eat ham or turkey.
Yeah,
or
you're not
whatever.
eating a hot dog on Easter, even though I think that we could rebrand. You get some barbecue sauce on that seersucker suit of yours. You know, let's do it.
Jesus loved to party.
He
you
did.
know?
He did. I mean, he partied so hard it led to his arrest. The Last Supper. He was
Yeah.
off the wine, and
Yeah, people don't know that the Last Supper was actually just a kickback.
he said this supper is going to be a movie tonight. So
What's a movie? Ah, you'll figure it out in time. John, the fast one, get this down. Or Paul, or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think so we've already had a few weekends here in Seattle that have been like mid 60s and sunny, which has been really nice. I've broken out the shorts a few times. But as far as like picnic situation, I'm thinking it's going to be like late May, early June, I feel like. Yeah.
I definitely
It's
could
been
have had one
unusually-
today.
Unusually nice. I don't think it's going to stay that way for very long.
yeah, we're in different worlds.
Global warming.
We could have been having picnics in February, but
Yeah. Yep.
It's like 70 degrees today. That's the weather, guys.
yeah,
And girls,
crazy.
you know.
Yeah. William McKinley, most famous for the Spanish-American War. So kind of imperialism, taking over shit.
Getting shot.
Hawaii,
Oh, okay.
which was a territory, became the final state, I think, the 50th.
You just took it. Oh, the final for now.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Watch out, Greenland.
Yeah.
Dude, do we want to talk about the Pope?
Yeah, let's
That's
talk about it.
old
What do
news.
you have to say about the Pope? Who do you think
I don't
who do you
have
think is going to be the
anything
new
to say about
Pope?
dude? I don't know. There was this guy I saw one video, one TikTok about the Pope's the top 10 or whatever people most likely to be Pope, and one of them was this
You're
guy
the
from
top
Philippines.
10 people who will be Pope.
No, it was
Yeah,
Pope
right.
Center top 10 Pope moments.
It was like
This week's top Pope moments.
He crossed him up.
yeah, no, this was let's see. It was like cardinals, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the top 10 I don't know
People
what you
caught
call
that.
them,
Charlotte
nominees,
St. Louis.
cardinal nominees for Pope.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes was from the Philippines. I was like, that'd be kind of cool to have a Filipino Pope. Popo.
Mm, the Filipopo, huh?
Filipopno? I don't know how you would.
Filipo,
combine
maybe.
that.
Yeah.
Last prominent Philippine leader was pretty out there.
Who was that?
Who's that?
Manny Pacquiao?
No, he's a boxer.
He was
I
in
don't
the
know, this
Senate.
guy- he was in the Senate. It was this guy who was like, I don't know, Maduro or something. I don't know. He
Duterte.
was like Duterte. Yeah, he was killing like everybody.
Yeah.
He was like, if you see a drug dealer, shoot him.
Famously not a
Like-
good guy. I think he's like
Famously
in
not a great guy.
international prison now or something.
Good. That's probably the right spot for him.
Yeah.
Into Slammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Right.
that
Philippine.
I also don't know very much about the Pope or Catholicism, but I do know that the Pope Francis, so I don't really know what being a cardinal is. I guess like being a cardinal is important. There are a bunch of levels that you get in the
We need to watch Conclave.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
what
that
they
would
say.
give us
I just
some
looked up
clarity.
Ray Fiennes Pope movie. So that
Yeah, it's like they knew, and then they sent JD Vance to go start this up
Kill 'em.
to get their ratings up. But the Pope rest
Well, they probably knew the Pope was old, right? So they're like, could probably get this in there. They really smacked gold because everyone's like, how the fuck?
yeah.
How are they picking the Pope? And now they have a movie
Yeah.
about it.
But the Pope Francis, he like stacked. Not that it like positively impacts him, right? He can't stack the people to re-elect him because he's no longer around. But he like appointed most of the cardinals, like 110 out of like 130 cardinals were promoted or put there by him. So most of the people who were involved in this voting were at least endorsed by him. So that means that I guess you would think that the next pope would be somebody who's similar to the former pope because he had a heavy hand in like determining who's the cardinals and who gets to vote. But I think in order to be the pope, you have to be in that group of like 130 cardinals or whatever, which means that like if we could pick anybody to be pope, which I don't think how it works, I would be interested to hear who you think it should be, regardless of if they're Catholic or not. You know, I would probably say Katy Perry because she's doing all kinds of stuff these days. You know, going to space,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
kissing.
I
The
think
earth.
Neil deGrasse Tyson would be a good pope.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'd be a good pope too.
Yeah.
We just need to break the rules a little bit. Let anybody be pope.
An atheist pope. Give me an atheist pope.
Yeah. Put him on TV to talk about space and stuff.
Yeah,
But he gets to wear a
exactly,
cool
yeah.
robe.
But I will say, dude, I feel like there's been maybe there's been like one or two instances over this pope's tenure where some news has come out about him being not woke, right? Maybe one or two instances. And then every other time I've heard anything about the Pope, it's been like, holy shit, can you believe the Pope says gay marriage is good? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like overall he was a really progressive Pope. And I'm wondering if the next one is going to be as progressive.
Yeah, they're gonna lean into it, or are they gonna kind of go back?
Yeah,
Are they
who
gonna be a
knows?
cultural? Are they gonna take us forward or backward? How will religion impact this? I wonder where this is gonna go. Would they keep up the rebrand they were going for, or will they go back to their old traditional values? He gets us, but does the Catholic Church get?
Did we get him?
Yeah, does he get him? You know, does the papacy understand Jesus and what he means? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So who do you think? Greta Thunberg? She could be the Pope. Who else
Yeah.
we got out there who could be the Pope?
What if it was like the Santa Claus situation? JD Vance kills the Pope.
And now he's the
He
Pope.
has to be
He's
Pope.
turned into like a kind of chubby South American guy. Oh no! I mean,
That's crazy.
like,
I would love a movie like that where it's like the Santa Claus but with the Pope.
Oh,
I would love
man.
that. That would be so cool.
you go like bald and you grow a little car that's a rectangle.
grow a little car. Every morning you wake up, you're not in your bedroom anymore. You're in the Pope mobile.
Like, what the fuck? He starts speaking Italian in hymns or whatever.
You're speaking Latin. You're singing. Yeah, you're saying the Psalms and stuff like
The
that.
Spirito Santo. Like, that's
That's so-
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I just read the Wikipedia for this Conclave movie. This shit's wild.
yeah. I remember last time this happened. I mean, like they were live streaming it. This probably was in like 2015, 2016 or something.
Yeah, they light some chimneys.
Yeah, I remember. I guess maybe it was like getting close to time. So we're not there yet because I think that they still have to. At the time of recording this, I don't know if they've had the funeral yet for the Pope, and I don't think they start anything until after that. But there was like a live stream on all the news places, and it might have just been at a certain time of the day that they released some smoke that indicates like what stage they're at, and so there's like a smoke watch. So anyway, I'll be excited to see some of this stuff because it's kind of cool. You know, it's like, you know, an election in the United States, you just watch Steve Kornacki or whatever, and there's no smoke involved.
Right.
It's kind of cool
Yeah.
to have that.
Yeah, you're right. That's what we need in American politics is more smoke.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think those stalwarts
Cigars.
around us.
yeah. Who we gonna
Cigars on the
pick?
Congress floor.
We're picking the stalwart candidate for the papacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should bring back the Whigs or the Stalwarts.
Bull the bull moose.
That's what I'm. We don't have cool parties anymore.
No, we got the Grand Old Party, the Democrat Party, the Republican Party. Give me something. The Green Party. Give me the bull moose. Give me
Yeah.
the Rocky Dogs.
Bald
Give me
Eagle.
Yeah. Where's the American Party? I feel like that's an easy ticket
Yeah.
to run out.
Yeah, it is.
It's like what party are you from? The American Party.
Yeah. How are you going to vote against us?
Yeah. You just go
Yeah.
super populist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, let us know how you'd run for the papacy at FK the Pod anywhere and anywhere. At gmail.com, on X, on Twitter, on slides, on Threads.
Slides. You were selling them on our Redbubble now. Slides.
Yeah. TBT. Leave us a
and
rating on
also-
iTunes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let us know what book we should read.
Yeah. Probably one
Yeah,
about the
We're looking
Pope.
for book Rex. That's right.
Maybe a biography of Rutherford B. Hayes, famous hacker.
Oof. That's tough. Thank you for listening to the FKA podcast and follow us on Twitter at FKA the Pod.